Dare to Dream Therapeutic Horsemanship Center. The Volunteer Rescue Squad had someone 4 to 6 hours a week to do cleaning and lawn work and things like that so that the members could focus on operations. Neil's Small Engine, the school had a crew as usual, and they did a great job this year, incredibly efficient, and finished way early. Sunny Stables, Virginia Cooperative Extension, that's a work site that has historically had someone, but what they've tended to have is cloverbud counselors. And they had that this year, but they also had someone in 1 or 2 days a week all summer long to help them with office work. So they got some extra attention this year. Churchill Produce and the Highland Historical Society had someone this year several days a week. I was glad of that because I'm always interested in adding work sites in McDowell and making the program countywide. Highland Medical Center had 2 people. They had a young person who helped in the pharmacy, and they had a young person who helped in the physical therapy department. This year there were a lot of students interested in the healthcare field. So you had the medical center, you had the rescue squad, you had the health department. I suspect, looking at what's coming up, next year we're going to have a crop of really talented young men who are interested in cars and small engines and things like that. And so one of the things I'll be looking to do for next year is to sort of lay the groundwork for those work sites to be a part of the program as well. And they're interested. Joe Neal will have someone back. Mark from the Exxon station has expressed interest, so nothing's certain, but I think we'll be able to work that out. Heart and Soul Massage, The Real Deal, Holt's Hideaway, Sully Stone Stables, VPAS Meals on Wheels Kitchen had someone as usual. The Highland Humane Society, Allegheny Mountain Radio, the Arts Camp, and Allegheny Meats all had someone in a limited, like a week kind of thing, week long that is. And then we did something interesting this year that we've never done before, but I have to say it worked out quite well, which is we had a student in the far eastern part of the county whose mother works in Fishersville. And we were trying to find a work site. This is someone who's under 16, they can't drive. We were trying to find a work site for them that would be, an easier lift than them having to come all the way into Monterey, Bluegrass, Mill Gap, whatever. Even McDowell, it was tough to do. So we ended up talking to White's Wayside, who is a member of the Highland Chamber of Commerce, and they had come to one of the chamber reports. And they said, yeah, we'd love to have her. So every day when her mom would go to work, she would drop her off and then pick her up on the way home. And it worked out brilliantly. Everybody was really pleased with it. And so that was a neat thing to be able to work out because it would have been really hard because of where that student lives. It would have been really hard to find them a work site until they could drive that would be really functional. So I was proud we were able to put that together. And I think it was a good thing for everybody. The other thing that expanded this year were the education sessions that we do as part of the program every year. So those went up in number, and I finally was able to get the focus in those classes on entrepreneurship that I've been trying to develop for 2 years. So we did 2 classes on entrepreneurship this year that were pretty in-depth. The first one was just an introduction to the concept. What does it mean to be an entrepreneur? What are common traits that entrepreneurs have? How do you decide whether starting a business and making your own opportunity is the right thing for you versus working for someone else or some mix of the two? And we had a wonderful guest speaker come all the way from Louisiana County to talk to the kids. His name was Wesley Childs, and he started his own business at 10 years old. And he just turned 25, and he has more than 20 employees and does more than $1 million in revenue every year in a landscape and lawn care business. And so I thought he was an excellent person to come because when he started that business, he was younger than almost every student in the room and has just worked and consistently grown it. And he gave a wonderful presentation. But part of the reason he wanted to come was he has been trying to get something similar launched in Louisiana County and has not really been able to do it. He's had some breakthroughs in some sort of vocational education stuff and getting support from that. But he would love to put together or be a part of putting together a youth employment program like we have here and hasn't been able to do it. So part of what he got out of coming and talking to the kids was getting to spend some time seeing how we organize things, seeing how we fundraise, how we work with you all, how we work with local foundations, individual donors, and sort of put everything together.
So did he extend an offer to you?
Two, yeah, well.
Of the Highland County
No. He knows better than to try to steal me. But that's one thing that I say a lot, and I think that's a perfect example of it. And if anybody takes anything away from this presentation, I hope it is the following rather than the numbers or whatever. There's a lot of counties that would love to be able to have a program like this and cannot manage to do it. And we get those calls regularly. To have the county government and the local officials, the school, the parents, the kids, the businesses, the private donors, all on the same page, and to do it year after year after year is not something that a lot of counties have been able to do. And I hope that it is a tremendous source of pride for Highland. And I'm very proud to be a part of it, because I can tell you that people often cannot believe what we accomplish here with our resources. Another example is I just got asked to go next week to an event in Craigsville to talk about the youth programs in the county. There's a group down there that's trying to get together and be proactive and try to decide how to put together youth development programs with the resources that they have. And the CSPDC, the staffer there called and said, hey, I know you guys do a lot of youth stuff. You've worked with local government, you've worked with the schools, you've worked with private citizens, you've worked with business. Come and give your perspective. That's not uncommon. And so I hope that everybody feels proud of this program, because it is special, and other people see it as special. Other education sessions we did a resume class. We did our normal practice job interviews. I recruited 8 volunteer proctors to come in and do practice job interviews with the young people. I did a course this year at the request of businesses on the concept of professionalism, which had a lot to do with, your sort of quote unquote employability skills and soft skills, and being explicit about the kinds of things we're trying to teach them in the work experience. But I spent, again, at the request of businesses, I put some focus on the juggling act that some of the young people have to do here in this county, where one minute, you're walking around with someone and they're your uncle or they're your second cousin and they've known you since you were born, and then the next minute you walk in the shop and they're your boss. And you have to have that professional relationship with someone who you have a personal relationship with, or just someone who's known you for a long time, and how to juggle that and how to compartmentalize, and how important it is to maintain standards of professionalism in those cases. So we spent some time focusing on that as well.
Adult classes on that?
Yeah. I wouldn't be surprised. I get asked occasionally. I've done resume classes at the library for adults. I just did something for AMI, so it wouldn't be surprising if the businesses reached out and said, hey, we could use this.
Whoever needs it will
Right. It's probably true.
One thing that came out.
That's a critical, excuse me for just
No, sure.
jumping in here, David, I apologize. It's a